Good evening, fellow gamers. Welcome to an episode of Stuff I Make with Grand Inquisitor Chris. This is just going to be a quick tips video for people wanting to do one-part molds or even just small-scale casting. One of the things that I've discovered, I use Alumilite resin. This is the part A, there's a part B. Comes in a brown bottle. But if you're doing any small-scale casting with resins like Alumilite that require equal mixing of part A and part B to get your mixtures right, when you buy the kit, it comes with a whole bunch of these little cups, and it's designed so that because you need to get equal parts of both, it's designed with all these little markings on it so that you can sit there and measure it. But the thing is, after you've done this like twice, the cup is usually covered with goo. It's trying to sit there and measure out, even if you just keep one for part A and one for part B and mix it in a separate cup, trying to keep it nice and clean and get the exact measurements you need repeatedly over and over again is a real pain in the butt. Because this is a 1 ounce cup, so if you're trying to mix, say, smallest marking is 1/8 of an ounce in this cup over and over again, you're going to drive yourself nuts because you're just going to end up with your mixture being way off. So I came up with a simple solution to that. I went to Walmart, went to the home goods section and bought a soap dispenser for liquid soap, the kind where you go ahead and unscrew the top, put the soap in it and push the little pump. That's this here. Went to the hardware section, bought a Rubbermaid 32 ounce heavy duty spray bottle like they use for spraying cleaners, pesticides, and other liquids. Took the tube off of the sprayer handle for the bottle and put it into the soap dispenser head. I made sure when I measured it that it's slightly longer than it needs to be so that it actually sits in the bottle and will rest against one of the sides all the way to the bottom, because I went ahead and I've actually spent the money to buy the big Alumilite resin 2-gallon jugs, and the problem that I had with that was when I got to the bottom of the bottle, so to speak, I still had a good ½ inch worth of liquid at the bottom because the straws don't go all the way to the bottom, so you don't get all the bottom liquid. So when I measured this, I made sure that the straw went all the way to the bottom and curves into one corner, so that when I finally get to the bottom, I can go ahead and tip the jug and get that final last little bit out of the bottom. But this is what's great about it. You don't need these little cups. Each one of these squirts is roughly about 1/10 of an ounce. So if you're sitting there mixing part A and part B, one little cup at a time, you don't have to. I go ahead and I start out, I'm going to go ahead and I'll cast this little gear here. I'm going to go ahead and start out with a clear. 1, 2, 3. There was a little half squirt there in the beginning, so I'm just going to count that as 3.5. 1, 2, 3.5. Now I do leave a cup underneath the nozzle for this to drip into, and you're going to want to make sure that it's not a reactive plastic, because the brown does tend to make some plastics soft. So like these little cups that I'm using to stir it in, I will stack them up just because if I leave brown in one of them, it will eventually go ahead and eat the cup up. So pour it in, and right there. Actually, I have a little more than I needed, so about half a squirt of each more than I needed. But I did just enough to do that one gear. So if you're doing small scale casting and you just need a small, tiny amount, rather than going nuts with these or going to the larger bucket, 1-gallon buckets to do your 1 ounce squirts, like I said, each one of these pumps is about 1/10 of an ounce every time that you squirt it. You're going to get a consistent amount of stream once the tube is completely filled. So I had just refilled these, the tubes, that was where I got a ½ a squirt out of each one. But it allows you to do small scales quickly, accurately, and if you want to adjust the mix, one of my friends used this resin and adjusted it, put 10% more of, I think, the brown in, and it made it more flexible so that he cast a flyer and the wings weren't brittle. You could actually bend them to a certain degree so that if it falls or if someone grabs it or something, it's not going to fall apart because it wasn't quite as brittle or as hard. But I just thought I'd go ahead and share this. I will catch you guys later. If you like my video or you like the tip that I gave, please go ahead and subscribe and share. If you have any comments or questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section. I'll read them later. Talk to you guys later. Bye.